Now that June is approaching, it's time for me to move into my new Golden Coil planner. I have it look exactly the same on the outside as my old one, and oops, gotta turn that around. But there are some changes that I did make on the inside, specifically because I have graduated, so I no longer need to treat this planner as also an academic one. If you want to see what my old planner's interior was like, I've got that video linked below. Right at the start, I have several year-at-a-glance trackers just to keep track of things like travel and maybe writing days. I haven't fully decided. And then there's the monthly calendar, which is where I plan to put my writing schedule for the month. And then a social media calendar at the beginning of the month so I can keep track of my videos, and a goal page, again because I'm obsessed with making goals even though I rarely ever fulfill them. And this is the weekly spread that I chose. I really love the big boxes for appointments, the large to-do lists, and the separate lists on the side for priorities, gratitude, meals, and weekly habits. That pattern repeats for the majority of the planner, but at the very back I do have some extra pages. First are these project planning pages. If I'm ever on the road or far from my author journal and I get a story idea, I can outline it here. I have 2 pages for reading lists because I am ever the optimist. That is probably ambitious though. And then I have several master to-do lists, which can either be for items that take too long to be on a weekly to-do list or to group together a whole bunch of items all for one project. And finally, it would not be a Wallissimo planner without a ton of dot grid. And there you have it. That's the planner I'll be working with for the rest of the year, hopefully. Now let's get into the actual planning for June. I am so excited for June. As I mentioned earlier, I've graduated from my master's program, and so now I have a ton of free time to write. The month is going to start off with a bang with the write-a-thon at the end of the first week. I'm going to be attending the write-a-thon. I will also be co-hosting a few of the sprints. And as for personal projects of what I will be working on, I will of course be diving right back into my chocolate short stories. And the tentative plan is to upload videos on Thursdays detailing those adventures. The project I am admittedly most excited for, however, is returning to This Book is for October. It's a book I'm writing for my sister that is meant to emulate a Hallmark Christmas movie, but for Halloween. I'd like to have a full draft of it by October 1st, so my main goal for June is to have a solid outline. Normally I try to have fairly varied goals, but for June I'm allowing myself to go full creativity mode just because it has been something I've been neglecting as I worked on my master's. So for June, my main 3 goal categories are the Wallissimo YouTube channel, working on This Book is for October, and finally designing my campaign for Dungeons and Dragons. I have several smaller goals for each of these categories. Certain amount of videos I want to create, the steps for drafting out This Book is for October, etc. And obviously just a whole bunch of D&D fun. And as for my daily writing goals, I want to at least watch 1 hour of other AuthorTube videos every day. I want to work on writing every day. I want to do a little economics continuing education every day. Again, this is all so optimistic. But if you can't be optimistic when starting a new month and starting a new planner, when can you be optimistic? So I'm just gonna go along for the ride and cross my fingers that I somehow manage to complete or at least attempt all my goals by the end of the summer. But until then, go be happy, go be healthy, and go write. Bye.